Today I want to say something about some of the deep thoughts that moved the world for 2000 years. I am talking about politics often, and viewers should not mistake me to be a person of current politics and controversies. No, I am not interested so much in party politics, though I was once an active member of the Indian National Congress. Today, what I wanted to say is about two books that are lying on my table. One is Plato, The Last Days of Socrates, and the other is The Prince book written by Niccolo Machiavelli, who comes from the Florence city in Italy. Here is a painting which I got from Florence. The points I want to say today are very abstract, complex, and had been deliberated for years. So I am not going to say something very new, though what I would say will have some bearing on what I studied at Oxford in philosophy. In my time, the department was dominated by world leaders like Sir Asaya Berlin, Sir A.J. Ayer, Professor Gilbert Ryle, all very well-known names. So I have inherited many philosophical ideas from these great minds, and Plato, we all know, heard of the name. Plato, along with his master guru Socrates and the disciple of Plato, Aristotle, are the three names which have dominated the intellectual thoughts of the West. What relevance they have today for people in India, in the East? They have a lot of things to say how the world today is shaping. They represented what is called the Western thought thinking. Westernization, we talk without knowing much about what it means intellectually, spiritually, and philosophically. Socrates lived in Athens, so too Plato, and I had been to Athens and went in search of where Socrates walked, moved, talked with his friends and disciples, and it is called the ancient agora in Athens. Socrates, the man who first asked the question what it is to live a good life, an ethical life, a moral life, a life that will be devoted to search for eternal truths. These are all not easy questions to ask, but Socrates asked daringly and incurred the wrath of the Athenian assembly. They pronounced him for death simply because they suspected he talked the truth and he didn't show a lot of respect for the beliefs they held, and that's the big debate, and we must all know what it means to be a Greek wisdom. The Greeks are the first people to ask philosophical questions. There was already a large number of people who asked these questions before Socrates. So that one section of the Western thought is called pre-Socratic philosophy. And after Socrates, the questions were asked by many. They were called sophists, the wise men, And if you go to Greece even today, you will be impacted by the atmosphere, very atmosphere, and the very monuments there. So I wanted to say it's very important to have an ethical philosophy for any people to survive and make their contribution. India had such ethical way of thinking too, and we must know this before asking some questions by very ordinary people who are indulging in some sensational politics. So that's the message I wanted to convey to people. And one reason is in 490 BC there was a battle called Marathon battle. From that word, from that phrase comes the today marathon race. So after the Athenian people won the battle, there was a drive to create new things and ask hard questions, and that's how the Greek thought started. Thank you.